So you've decided to take the plunge and start playing Yu-Gi-Oh! However, with over 12,000 cards in the game and almost 400 archetypes, where do you even start? Well, YouTube is always a good place. However, how good are some of these decks that we see profiled day in and day out on that platform? Well, you're about to find out, my friends, and this is Season 3 of Net Deck 101. Let's get it going. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You know who it is by now? Jimothy. So ladies and gents, the well anticipated return of Net Deck 101 is upon us, and it has been a while since I've been in the hot seat, but we are back, ladies and gents, and back with a bang. So expect this series to be ongoing for the foreseeable. Now we are actually reviewing Aznwithcards Madolche Vernulslyph Ishizu deck. Now this is probably the only list that really resonated with me, and as always, I will leave a link in the description to the original deck profile so you can go and check out their content. Aznwithcards made some great content, and there is actually a combo tutorial at the end of the video which is really useful. So without wasting any more time, ladies and gents, let's get straight into the duels. Okay, ladies and gents, we are back with the list, and as always, I will leave a link in the description to Aznwithcards' deck profile that I got this list from. So we are in the business of reviewing, ladies and gents, so let's get straight into it. Now, looking at some of the positives, what I will say is this deck is super consistent. I didn't realize how consistent this deck was. When I initially looked at the list, I was thinking to myself, the Madolche package seems a little bit small. No Madolche Salon, only one field spell as well as the one promenade. But after playing the list, you don't necessarily need all those cards. Plus, with the Ishizu cards, you can just recycle them. It's just as simple as that. So I really did like the fact that Angeli is your play starter. Pet Incessor can also start your plays, but I realized that Angeli is probably the best one because it doesn't really care about what's going on in the graveyard. It will just start plays. The Pet Incessor, however, does care. So starting off with your Angeli and having the Vernulslyph monsters to be able to facilitate that just really helps with the consistency, as well as the part of prosperity. It really did help, and I didn't realize how consistent it is just to basically go off with a one card combo. So definitely a nice consistent list. The Vernulslyph monsters, we know how consistent they are. They do double by being able to dump one of your Ishizu cards, which is just a superb interruption. I believe I played against like Dark Worlds a couple of times, and literally just slaughtered their deck. Just once you put back their Rainbow and their Grapha, their plays are done and dusted. So having these cards were nice, as well as having the Bestials. Now, we all know how strong Bestials are, and I'm actually going to make a video separately on Bestials, but the Bestials are super strong as well. It says no more. Like, you can actually do your main combo, and then off Prosperity, just search a card, and more times than not, you're going to be searching a Bestial just because of the prevalence of light and dark monsters in the game. So I did like that for that reason. Herald of the Orange Light, again, a little bit of a sacky one-off. Potentially, could it have been something else? I'm not too sure, but it worked. When I did see it worked, it always went off, so interesting to see. The triple DD Crows, they were okay. Not too sure about it. There's a couple of times when I just used it for discard fodder, but yeah, is what it is. The Imperm was an interesting one because we ain't seen Imperm recently, and what I was tending to do was hold the Imperm for my opponent's turn, and just start my turn by Imperming one of their cards, just either force out an interaction or a negation. So it was a little bit refreshing to see Imperm, and it's a card that's been overlooked currently just because of how strong Ishizu tier is, but it is still a very powerful card, and against some rogue decks, it just can like severely hurt their end board. So yeah, it is a very interesting tech, but I did like the Imperm, as well as the double Fenrir. He did say in his profile that if he had 3, he would play 3, but what I found with the Ishizu cards is you can literally just keep recycling one Fenrir at a time, and then get search off the other one. So it's actually crazy how much you can just keep getting a Fenrir off Fenrir's effect, which is just silly. The Ishizu cards, we know how strong they are. The Medora and the Caldo just literally just slaughters people's graveyards. It's not even funny. And the extra deck was pretty solid, as well as having a side deck. Now, typically you don't necessarily see side decks with deck profiles, mainly because it's always catered to your local meta or your regional, wherever you're playing basically, but this actually did help, and this leads me on to talk about some of the things that I didn't like. Now, with this deck, as consistent as it is, there was no main deck spell and trap removal, which I thought was interesting, and there was a couple of times where I really needed it. I got Necro Valid once, and it absolutely just destroyed the deck, and I didn't realize how strong Necro Valley of a card was against the Madolche lineup. I literally couldn't play, and then as I was playing, I was thinking to myself, how am I going to out this? The only out that I could potentially do was the Fenrir, because it doesn't really mess with the graveyard to be able to get rid of a card on field. But by that time, my opponent had set up some kind of negation, so I was literally just stuck, and I almost got decked out because of it. It just blew my mind. So I know Mystic Mine is not in the format, but I really do value having a main deck spell and trap removal, at least one that doesn't rely on anything else being on the board or the status of your graveyard or anything like that. Just one main deck spell and trap removal. What I also found was there was a couple of times where I had an excess rank 4 or a couple of rank 4 monsters due to having the Ishizu cards on field after searching with my Vernulslyph monsters. So I'll potentially drop a Zeus and then put another rank 4 in. It could be, I don't know, a Baguska for example, just in case you got stopped. It could be like a time fee for Redoer just to supplement your end board. It could be a whole host of things. We know how strong the rank 4 toolbox is, but I just found the second Zeus wasn't as impactful. In fact, I didn't even really go into Zeus that much. Zeus was just an option, so I'd potentially drop one of the Zeuses and then put in another rank 4 monster, just because the rank 4 pool is just so strong at the moment, so strong. And that is it, ladies and gents. All in all, I think it's a really consistent list. I was taken back by how consistent it was and just being able to set up a board. Madolche is a really strong rogue deck, and I did value the fact that you can just basically go off on one card. So all these flexi spots in terms of like the Beast Duels, the Herald of Orange Light, the DD Crows, the Infinite Impermanence could literally be anything you want it to be. So with that in mind, I feel like this list is really strong. So shout out to Asian with the cards. Definitely go over to his channel and subscribe. Check out his content. His content's really good as well. And the fact that he ended with a combo tutorial just allowed me to just pick the deck up and just like learn it really quickly. So definitely something that I value. But anyway, we come to the end of another video. If you think I've missed anything or should have included anything with this review, definitely get at me in that comment section below. And if you did enjoy this content, you know what to do by now. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, all of that beautiful good stuff. And I will definitely see you guys on the next video. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.